what is the legacy that you hope people get from the doc? Because for me, I was so touched by your father's dedication to black people, from the civil rights movement to creating the Bahamian diet and really getting people involved in vitamins and veganism and even just drinking more water. And then, of course, in his later years when he became a truth teller like nobody else, he went raw all the way with it. What do you hope people get from the legacy they take away from the doc?
Live your truth, honesty. My dad would always say, pray for the truth to come out. He'd always say, if you want to see real power, get up early in the morning, walk outside, and watch sunlight smack darkness out the sky without making a sound. Know that you can do more. Know that you can do better. Take better care of yourselves so you can therefore take better care of humanity. And he would preach this. My dad had a clicker that he would just click, and it was a counter like someone at work in a nightclub. I said, Pop, what are you constantly clicking that for? I said, what are you counting? He said, I'm counting how many times I say thank you, God. And he just really understood the blessings that were bestowed on him. And that's not to take away from the work. Lots of people get blessings and they squander them. He really did the work, the labor, and ultimately what ultimately killed my dad was not fasting for medicinal reasons, but the 40-day plus hunger strikes he would go on ultimately devastated his blood vessels in his body, and that's what ultimately he transitioned from. So the first person I talked to after my dad passed was Martin Luther King III, and I remember an emotional conversation we had together, and I said the same vicious, racist, white supremacist system that killed your dad ultimately killed my dad. It was just related, but it was the same impact, and it's just the truth. And I think it's important that people know that, but it's also important, Bevy, that we celebrate the victories. So many people, my dad's orbit, got gunned down. Dick Gregory lived a full life cycle. He went out on his own terms. We laughed all the way up into his last breath. He was fully engaged. When he could no longer speak, he was squeezing hands and winking. This was something that he was in full control of. It was not a medical emergency. And it was I look at it now, as emotional as it was at the time, it was a real blessing. And I'm happy that his life ended so dramatically different than his peers.